So, Lord Yaroslav here. I haven't made a video on YouTube in about a month. Well, I made one just 5 minutes ago, but check it out if you want. It's great. Anyway, I've been doing some thinking, some contemplating on lines that I normally don't do my contemplating on, and I found it rather interesting. I've been contemplating the existence of a possible God. Now, check this out. I know if you're a theist, you're going to be orgasming at me saying that there could be a God. And if you're an atheist, if you're an intelligent atheist, you'll at least listen to what I have to say. Now, here's what we got. Consider the human consciousness, okay? The human consciousness, you have one, your brother has one, your family, human consciousness. Anyone who's alive has one. And I guess animal consciousness, for that matter, too. Organisms, consciousness. All of your thoughts, all of your emotions, all that shit is the result of a series of chemical reactions and electrical impulses in your brain. Intrinsically, that's all it is. Okay? Without them, you wouldn't have a conscious. That's why dead people don't have a consciousness. So there's that. Now, if that's all that a consciousness really is, it's a really, really hollow thing when you think about it. I mean, series of chemical reactions and electrical impulses, physical reactions that go on in thousands, millions of other places in the universe, and we have the arrogance as humans to call that consciousness. But let's roll with it here. Now, bear with me on this, okay? Computers. You give information to them, they spit information back at you. And it's different information. They process what you originally gave them, they think about it, think it over, and they give you a reaction, okay? And they're run by a series of physical reactions, electrical impulses. Similar to the brain, except without the chemical reaction part. So, it follows, I think, logically that computers have reactions too. And if you want experimental evidence for this, first try this on a human. Go up to a fellow human being, do something to them, I don't know, push them, tell them something, it could be something nice, something mean, whatever, and see if they have a reaction. If they do, great, It could be a physical reaction, like, let's say you push them and then they get back up, push you back or whatever. Even if they don't try to acknowledge you, they will react to what you do in some way. That's how you know they have a consciousness. Computers are the same. You do something to a computer depending on what you do, because they don't have all the senses that humans have to perceive what you're doing to them, but do something that a computer can perceive, it gets some information from that, and it reacts accordingly after processing the information. So that's a consciousness right there. And actually, I remember a few years back there was a fad with children's toys. There were like robotic, artificial intelligence dog fucking toys out there. I think it was called Pooch or something. But my friend had one, and you go up to this plastic children's toy with circuitry inside of it. You like pet it or whatever, and then it displays like hearts in its eyes, and that's supposed to be happiness. Well, obviously, if you actually think about it, at first you'd think, well, children's toys can't have emotions, they don't have souls, consciousness, whatever. It's just a series of electrical impulses that go on within the toy itself. But that's all emotions really are. It's no different with humans. So yeah, things that are not humans or animals can have a consciousness, if they're a system. And that got me thinking, can a consciousness result from the system that is the universe? That is a series of physical reactions involving gravity, actually everything. Every physical reaction imaginable, because this is the entire universe we're talking about. Between planets there's gravity, between other things there's electrical reactions, chemical reactions, nuclear reactions, and such. In fact, the universe is the most complex system there is. Well, complicated. It really depends on how you define complex. But the universe is the most all-encompassing system there is. Alright? And if you do something to the universe is going to have some kind of reaction. No matter how small, the reaction is going to be there. There is some part of the system that will account for that. And that leads me to believe that the universe also has a consciousness. Alright? And if you want, you can call that consciousness God. And that would logically follow that God is a unique consciousness in many aspects. First of all, most consciousnesses have to perceive information that's outside of the body. God obviously can't do that because he cannot perceive anything outside of the universe. As a result, all his decisions are based on things that happen in the universe. In other words, all of his decisions are based on past decisions of his. He doesn't seem to have a goal. Maybe he does. I feel so dirty using the word God. I'm just going to call it the universe from now on. The universe doesn't seem to have any goals. Maybe it does. Regardless, though, every fucking thing that happens is a result of the laws of physics in action. You know, me making this fucking video is the result of laws of physics, because all the matter, you know, in the universe interacting me that pertains to me, for some reason, some uncountable number of small, tiny reasons, could not react in such a way as for me not to produce this video for you. And that goes for everything I do, and for everything you do, and for everything anybody does. So, in a sense, I guess you could say the universe controls everything we do with its consciousness. Now, that, of course, depends. Whether or not God exists in that sense really depends on your definition of God. Because back in biblical times, you know, people thought that God was this big fucking sky daddy with a white beard who would throw lightning bolts down at you and send you to hell and burn down your cities with a comet and shit like that. But ever since reason and scientific thought have made their way, you know, into the modern world, that definition has had to shrink in order to be able to compete with that. Of course, there are a bunch of dumbasses out there who still think that God is a sky daddy who cares about you in some way. But generally the only consensus that theists can seem to come to is that God is a consciousness that created the world. And if that's a good enough definition for you, which for me, I'm going to say right now it's not, but if that's a good enough definition for you, then yeah, God exists. And I'm not going back on evolution or the Big Bang. I still believe in those, because anything that happened would be part of the laws of physics, which are part of the consciousness of the universe. So, there's that. Those are my thoughts for today. I hope, you know, any atheist really doesn't think I'm betraying atheism, but whatever. Yeah, peace out. Fuck off.